Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We are back for some more F1 24 Driver Career Mode for round number 24 of 24, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the last hurrah, the last race of the season. It is time to end up on a high note. So, welcome back, and we're back, and like I said I want to finish season, and here we are for the last race of the Grand Prix and of this season. So, let's see what we can do. But so far in this main event today, it is the battle for P5 between me and basically us versus Aston Martin, Alpine and Aston. It is the fight for P5. So this is going to be a very, very, very tough race. And what a season we've had. We've had a lot of DNFs. We've had, I believe, the most out of everybody. We've been 4, but there's so far the head-to-head this season. Overall, qualifying results have been close, but we've got the edge of Gasly a lot this season. 14-9 in race results, 6 podium finishes, 3 P1s, 2 P2s. I mean, ultimately we have beaten Gasly so far this season. We've made Gasly the second driver. Just kidding, he's still top number 1, but we've kind of ruined the day for Pierre Gasly. But overall, sometimes the youngling comes in and he clutches up in the team. So so the end of season 1 is near, and we need to kind of pray for the best. And honestly, I would like to get a good result. Like I said, this is not really my best track. I'm not a big fan of Abu Dhabi. The new layout is better, but still, Abu Dhabi is not one of my best tracks, so we need to pray for the best. But let's get ready for qualifying here, and let's see what we can achieve here in qualifying to see what we can do for the race.
Welcome along everybody, it's the fastest day of the week, qualifying Saturday, and we're here in Abu Dhabi.
And here we are under the lights. They should make Qatar the last race of the season. Go back in time, maybe make Brazil the last race of the season. That's what should be the last race of the season. But nope, fortunately we're in Abu Dhabi for the last race. And yeah, still, no matter what, this track is still very difficult to overtake because, you know, the straights and everything else like that, and just some Mickey Mouse corners. And obviously in the old track it was horrible, but we need to pray for a miracle. And Q1 time, try to see what we can achieve here in Q1. And I think it's going to be a very tight field. And so far, the car doesn't feel all that great. It really just not, the front end will not bite. Even in practice, we were really struggling in practice. And there's some corners where I'm losing a lot of time. But if we can able just to kind of manage to get some points, that's all that matters, I guess you could say. So, anyways, Norris is kind of not really in the way too yet, but he's going to give us a little bit of a slipstream through the last track. Or no, he's not, because he's able to kind of extend that. But now Norris is really in the way. He's actually in the way at this point. He will not get off the racing line. You got to get out the way, mate. Come on, the McLaren Papaya rules coming into effect, but he gets out the way finally. That probably cost us about a tenth or two, which probably did not help. But come across checker flag now. Where's it exactly going to put us? Almost lost it a little bit. And Norris was on. He was on an end lap actually. He was set at 122.1, but 122.8 for us, and like I said, the last sector did not help with him getting in the way, but we're arguably a lot faster than a lot of the guys in the middle in the last sector. So yeah, very tight field. And Leclerc is kind of, so yeah, Leclerc is out so far of the top 10. Daniel Ricciardo able to sneak through, so very tight. And now for the last run in Q1, we're on a new set of tires. Like I said, I mean, new set ultimately would just be a lot better, so we need to kind of, we're not safe at the moment. Stroll put in an amazing lap. Seems like they have to make the AI fairly fair, and we took way too much curb on the exit, and that did not help. We've lost 2 tenths now from that part of the track. And like I said, I mean, we were able to find a little bit of time, but it's not too crazy. Maybe we didn't lose too much time, but we're not finding enough time, and I hope that we're not out in Q2, because that'd be unfortunate. But we're able to sneak in. We're gonna get through, thankfully, and that lap's gonna only put us P14. So it is very tight, very tight, and a little too tight, unfortunately. That's just how it is. A little too tight. So a little bit of a scare, just a little bit of a scare. So quite unfortunate. But Verstappen tops the session, and Gasly is P6, so Good lap from Gasly. We're P14. Yeah, feel good. Feel good. And yeah, Leclerc able to sneak into the top 5 as well. So yeah, and both the Astons are P11 and P12, so they're cooking position bottom 5. Bottas, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu, and Logan Sargent are the bottom 5 that are out. And Ricardo also did kind of sneak ahead of us. So Daniel has woken up. The prime Daniel that I know has woken up. Just kidding, he's washed. And anyways, time for Q2 now. And well, honestly, let's just cook. And a little bit of a lag glitch. Took too much. Took the curb and then it bounced off the curb, and that is somehow track limits. It didn't look like it was off track, but FIA said it was off track. So okay, and we go again, and now we're really under threat because guess what? We're only P15 right now, so we need to pray for a miracle. And this is the last run. We didn't go off for another run. This is the last run, so it is a very, very, very tight. But let's take a full lap around the Abu Dhabi circuit. Down here, a little bit of a heavy braking zone. Brake at the 50-meter board. Turn in exactly where you want to. Use the exit as much as you can, and use too much of the exit, which probably lost me a little bit of time. I need to kind of... I try to use all the exit I can on this racetrack, and now a long straight, and now heading down into probably the more heavier braking zones of this Grand Prix, or of this layout. Down into second gear, up into third gear. Well, should have been up into third, but not, unfortunately. Take the exit, and then we get another back straight here approaching the next couple of corners. And it's not looking too hot. There's not really any... I mean, there's personal bests, but they're not anything crazy time-wise. 52.5, that's actually not where you want to be in the middle sector, so it is very tight. We did not validate this time. That was fairly close. There's a little bit of a bump coming through that part of the track. We managed to skip away from the bump, and now under the hotel section we go. And it is very tight. It's going to be very tight to get into Q3. Sonoda is 122.7, but I don't know who is P10. Whoever is P10, they are really under a threat here, but it is going to be fairly close now. Approaching the last corner, we didn't have the proper line. Where is this exactly going to put us? I don't think we made it through. And we didn't. We missed out. That is a Q2 exit. I feel like it's been a minute since we've last seen an exit in Q2, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that is a Q2 exit. What a shocker that was. And we missed out, man. We missed out by 1,000. We've missed out by 48th 1,000ths of a second. That was close. Alonso was able just to kind of find that little bit of edge, and he did. And ultimately, we choked that. I mean, I have nothing really to blame myself for that. We should have. Yeah, I have no one to blame but myself for that one. So that's tight. That is very tight. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's just fairly tight. So let's get on to the race, shall we?
It's the final chapter of the season then here at the spectacular Yas Marina circuit. It's a race where the pole sitter failed to finish in 3 of the first 4 events. A front row start here is by no means a guarantee of victory. So we go into battle once more then, as we get underway at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We have 16 corners here at Yas Marina circuit, 7 to the right and 9 to the left. It's a total lap distance of 3.28 miles. 2 long straights and overtaking opportunities throughout the lap. We expect average speeds of around 123 miles per hour. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Cowboy, Sonoda, Norris, Perez, Bottas, Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Ricciardo, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Stroll, Magnussen, Zhou, and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. I don't know about you, Ant, but it seems like only a couple of weeks ago we were talking ahead of the first race. Here we are, ahead of the last race. This year has just flown by.
Yeah, a lot of races to cover these days in Formula One, Crofty, as you well know, doing them all yourself. But it's the same for the drivers. It comes at you thick and fast. and you've got to pace yourself as well to get to this point in the season. If it has gone your way, it's a great time to just enjoy it. There's nothing that can change in the championship pecking order, of course. If you've won the championship already, go out and enjoy this race and send yourself off through the winter break. If it's been a bit of a year to forget, you can try and take a bit of solace in this Grand Prix, end on a high, and carry that energy into next season.
Okay, mate, final day of the season. Everybody in this entire team has worked incredibly hard to give us the chance to get a good result today. I need you to do your bit and go out there and bring it home for us.
That is the goal, Mark. We need to bring home this P5 for Alpine, even though we are thinking about leaving at the end of the season. But yeah, a lot of grid penalties, which moved us up into P5. So thank you for that. Everybody else taking grid penalties, they always take them at the end of the race. And well, the two that did not take grid penalties, well, one of them is Fernando Alonso, and he said no. So, like I said, very costly. But for the 5 red lights here, for the the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, lights out for the final chapter. Lights out, away we go. We get a horrible start in Tsunoda. He got a much better start in the RB, but that was not a good start whatsoever. And we've been struggling to get the starts right in this game, but we still have not gotten it right. And Tsunoda almost had a look on the inside of Yuki Tsunoda. Thankfully, we did not. We almost did, but we did not at the same time. So, Alonso and Gasly side by side in the Aston and the Alpine. Alonso's former team, and Alpine has basically are giving him a threat for his money. So, joking aside, maybe he should have stayed with Alpine. Just kidding. Anyways. We go around Tsunoda. We got into the slipstream of Tsunoda. We're gonna get around him. We keep it just enough tight and fair. We get around him, and now Alonso and Gasly, they're side by side through that part. Not really a part of the track where you really want to kind of fight the driver, but he was able to do it. And now we're giving Alonso a threat for his money. It's gonna be 3 wide down to the next couple of corners. We're gonna be last on the brakes. We get around Fernando Alonso, and we able to sneak through that from being last on the brakes. So, last of the late breakers, I guess you could say. That was what that was. And we were able to sneak through, and now we're up into P3 into the podium position. And now it's not looking so good because Alonso was able to manage to pull in 3 points. We need to pull a 5 points gap, but Gasly, he's up there in P5. So if we just keep this cooking, then we can easily bag a good result. So this is good for us. This is really good for us. But Leclerc now, 2.3. He's got the fast lap. Hamilton also right behind him as well, which we haven't really heard much of Lewis Hamilton through this season. I don't think he's had a single win or a podium this season at all, so he's really struggled in his first year with Mercedes, which could be our teammate for next season if we bother to do another option of career mode. Not 100% sure yet. I'll give that update towards the end of the video if we do or not. But anyways, Alonso now is becoming a threat, and well, he's not too close. He's close, but he's not too close, so ultimately we'll kind of just sit back. But lap 3 now, it is time to cook. Not really, but yeah, this pack is kind of split up, and now it's really just we don't really got the pace of Hamilton. And Alonso, well, he's putting threat to us. This Aston Martin is really hooked up around this track for Fernando, but it's always like the last race that they make the AIs make them superior than the guy that's trying to win the championship. But here comes Alonso now. He is a threat, and he gets right around us. And Fernando Alonso, at his age, and is still cooking in the Aston. So, yeah, and almost just had a moment through that part of the track. Lost a little bit of time, but now Gasly is putting us a little bit under threat, but he's not that close enough. So ultimately, we will stay ahead. But so far on lap 3 now, just pray for the best. And okay, almost got track limits. Fairly close, but lap 4 now, we can't get around Alonso. I mean, Alonso is just kind of relatively just holding it off really well, but there's a yellow flag behind us. Someone has had a moment somewhere, and that is Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. So Sainz has had a moment, or I believe he's out the Grand Prix, because I believe, yeah, Sainz is out of the Grand Prix, and that's unfortunate. Carlos is actually running a decently good race, and unfortunately he gets caught up in that massacre, so that's unfortunate. But lap 3 now, Alonso is still he's still doing what Fernando Alonso does. He's still pulling some gaps, so he's clutching up. Alonso's clutching up, but we're still going to put some threat on Fernando. We got the slipstream, we got the DRS. We're going to get around Fernando here on lap 3 of this Grand Prix. Alonso's got the inside line, but we go around the outside, and we're going to get that move done. So thank you very much for that one. We get that move ahead of Alonso, and now guess who's next up? And that is Lewis Hamilton, but he's pulled 3 seconds ahead of us, so that's unfortunate. But anyways, Alonso, he still can, again, because he's able to stay in the DRS, he's able to manage and kind of just sit right back behind us. He's going to get us on the main straight because, again, that's just what Fernando Alonso does, and seems like every time when he gets around us, but then when we try to get around him, guess what? He doesn't overtake, but no, he's not too close enough. The straight line speed is not really coming into his favor. He just probably wasn't that close through that part of the track, and the line is a little bit off through there. I'm kind of taking a little bit of a wider line than expected, and it's kind of losing us a couple tenths, I guess you could say, through this Grand Prix, but here comes Alonso. I don't think he's that close enough. We still defend just a little bit, and he's not that close enough. Lap 8 now. Alonso could be a threat now. He's about 3 seconds. Maybe he was charging battery. Now he's using overtake. Alonso is now really coming in. Here comes Fernando. Down the inside goes Fernando Alonso, and ultimately it's just a game of chicken and horse. And who's the chicken, who's the horse, I guess you could say. And Alonso gets ahead. And, well, we have to go again. So lap 3, well, not lap 3, position 3, lap 8, I'm sorry, but we're under threat and not too close enough to Alonso, so we sit back and let him go and just try to follow him through this part of the track and try to get him on the main straight. On lap 9 now, it is a fairly dark day here in Abu Dhabi, a little bit overcast. Alonso, he pins it! Alonso pins it, and we're in the wall! Heavy front wing damage, and we had to avoid Alonso, and that has basically ruined our race completely because Fernando makes a mistake and he decided, I'm going to pull 300 IQ tactics to try to take out the Alpine, but he failed his mission. But we had to avoid him and we broke the front wing. I don't know what he did. He just lost it. He clearly floored it because that's the only mistake that the AI do. But we had to kind of avoid him, and we just kind of, maybe that was maybe our fault. We stuck it we just stuck it on the gas, and I'm a little bit annoyed by that, and now Gasly comes in. This is not what we needed. This is going to be a really slow stop now. We got to change the front wing. We're going to be dead last now at the end of this. Oh, no. I'm not happy about this. He's coming in. It's a slow stop. You got to be kidding me. And he's getting held up. This is not good. Oh, come on. This is horrible. What in the actual hell? Oh, what the heck? This is the problem with being in this midfield fight. You get caught up in this, and now we finally pit. And what the hell? That did not help. That has made it arguably worse. 6.4, and man, we haven't jumped any. We jumped Ricardo and Sargent, but man, what the hell was that? I mean, again, a little slow stop because we did have to change the front wing, but now we're last. Basically, we're borderline last. So, we got some charging to do up the field, and we got 20 laps to do it. So just when you think this race couldn't get any worse, it's gotten worse. And because Fernando Alonso tries to take us out in the Aston, he says, "No, screw the Alpine. I want P5." And Fernando Alonso tactics as usual. But here we go. Lap 12, race restart has begun, and now we're gonna have to push all the way to the end. Everybody else going to the end, the hard tires. And to be fair, we were on lap 9, so the hards were kind of really prefer to kind of box on lap 9, so now we really just have to keep a threat. I mean, that's the whole goal at this point, to just keep a threat to Piastri and also just keep that threat on Alonso to kind of just relatively cook, I guess you could say, in this Grand Prix. But so far the beginning phase, I mean, we're just trying to follow Piastri through and see what can go on, but we definitely, fighting in this pack is going to be very difficult because a lot of these guys, they got quicker cars, but Piastri, he's probably going to be the biggest guy to really kind of spoil the day because again, he's just ultimately got the superior car than us. But Alonso, he was able to sneak through Alex Albon, but Piastri wasn't able to sneak through on Zhou Guanyu or not. So this is Fernando Alonso, man. He's just built different. He's a rocket. Meanwhile, we're back here acting like Logan Sargent, just not doing anything. And well, now we're really under threat. Albon's really struggling, but I don't think we're going to be able to get them because, again, they got a better exit than what we did. And I don't think we're really going to be putting Albon under threat. I don't even think we're even going to get in the I don't even think we're even going to get him on this main straight, but we might if we keep it tight and fair. But it's going to be 2-1 possibly. Or no, we are going to go for it. We go down the inside on both of them, and we get around them. And, man, I'll take that. Thank you very much. And that was ultimately crucial. And to get two drivers, I didn't even think we were going to get them because we had such a horrible exit. we're able to sneak through. Lap 14 now. Zhou Guanyu is a threat, and we are attacking him. He is the prey, and we are the predator, and we get ahead, and that helped us out quite a lot. And Alonso now, he is next up, and well, we need to get around Alonso and Magnussen, I guess you could say as well. So, and what a race, what a restart, I guess you could say. Overtake achieve a 13th position by 3 laps. I think that is possible, but Fernando Alonso is going to just crash into us again. So it's going to be tough, but trying to fall through the middle sector. That's Bottas has had a moment. Bottas has had a moment somewhere, and he's locked up completely. He had a double lockup, which is kind of rare. But now I thought he had DRS. Magnussen now putting pressure, but we could be a threat to Alonso. We are under a threat. Alonso's defending the inside. We're going to go around the outside of Fernando Alonso. The battle for those points, and he's going down the inside of Magnussen. He sneaks his nose in there, and he turns in completely, and we catch some airtime. Alonso is not playing around. He is absolutely being he's lost his head completely because he just completely turned in on us, and that should be that's honestly his fault. That's all on him. I didn't do anything. I had the inside, but we get around Alonso. The airtime though was crazy. We'll take a look and see that airtime that we got, but that was crazy. Look at the airtime. Boom. Took too much. We took the curb and it damaged the floor, but the airtime was crazy. And Magnussen and Bottas are now under threat, but Magnussen, both Ferrari-powered cars, they obviously got the better engine than what we do. We got an Alpine in the back of our car, so not an Alpine, a Renault in the back of our car, so we're gonna be down on power. But Magnussen and Bottas, side by side, they're keeping it tight and fair. And Magnussen gets around Bottas, but now we're gonna try to get around Bottas, but he got a better engine than what we did. We got the DRS now on Bottas and also Magnussen. Could we get another 2-in-1 here? Bottas kind of gets trapped by us because we got so much overspeed, but we get around Magnussen, very wide line, but we're gonna get around him, and yes we do, up into P11. So we are flying through this field. Yuki Tsunoda is up next, and now we're starting to catch up to this big pack. And Alonso, he's fading away, but guess who's up there in the points? His name is Lance Stroll. He has somehow managed to sneak into the points. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how Lance Stroll is able to do this, but he's able to do it. Someone's got to give me answers, because why do the AI always show up in the last race? Someone explain this to me. Every time you're in a title fight, they always show up. How does that make sense? I have no idea. But anyways, 10 laps to go. Hulkenberg is we're putting pressure for Hulkenberg now, and he's got DRS from Tsunoda, but he's able to defend the inside, and to be fair, he's taking the much preferred line. We have to go around the outside, but we're able just to kind of get through, and we get around him, and now Tsunoda is now next up on the Tsunoda's next up, and well, we pray for the best, and we try to get around Tsunoda in the back of that V-carb, and it's going to be tough to get around Tsunoda, I have a feeling, because ultimately he's just Tsunoda, and he's got a really good car in the straight line. So Tsunoda is next, and we're just seeing that Visa all over we're just seeing that Visa making that Visa wide, I guess you could say. And we go down the inside, not really a part where you overtake on the track, but he opened the door and we snuck through, so that's not really a part of the track where you overtake, but we managed to do it, and well, that was goated. We did it, so thank you very much. And now Norris is next up, and we have to try to get around Lando here, and also Lance Stroll, who, like I said, just always shows up. But as of right now, Gasly is up there in positions, and I believe we still would have the championship if we get around Norris. So if we keep this going, we can get this championship still. I have faith that we can get this, so I'm 100% confident, but very wide, and that's actually... Oh no, that's 3 seconds. Son of a B. Oh, that actually just broke my heart after seeing that, man. That did not help. That did not help. 3-second time penalty has came in our way, and very wide once again. That's another track limits warning. I guess we burnt our bridges on track limits completely, and it's still that last corner where it still bites the dust, and we were doing really well with track limits this season. But now, really, towards the second half of the season, we've really just kind of bullied track limits, and we've paid the price quite a bit. But look at this 5-car fight. for the race lead. And now Gasly is sitting really well in P6, but he's not really that close enough to the guys up in the front, so he's kind of relatively... Now, you got to be kidding me. No, man. Pierre Gasly's out of the Grand Prix with an engine fail. This man's luck this season has been horrible, and Alpine have became a dumpster fire, and oh my god, I'm so heartbroken. I'm so heartbroken, and the 3-second time penalty did not help. So, damn it, I'm not happy. I'm not happy, and well, now we pray for the best, and we really need to pray for the best. We really do, and I need to cook up something, and we need a miracle. We need a miracle in this session. So, man, that's so hard. That's so unlucky. That is literally the unluckiest I've ever been. But 24, Norris gets around Stroll, and we're gonna put the pressure for Stroll now. So, Stroll, you're next, buddy, and Norris, you're next as well, because I need to get up there to the front. I need to manage to pull 3 seconds, and Stroll, who's able to stay, and Stroll, again, he's cooking. Stroll's cooking. I don't know how he does it. Like, he shows up the last race. Where was he all season? Where was he all season? And then he shows up in the last race when we're in the heat of a battle. Someone explain this to me. How does he do it? How does Lance Stroll do it? I don't get it. Someone explain, please, right now. I need answers. And, well, we are going to put him under threat. We are going to put him under threat, and under this overtaking zone, but Stroll defends the inside line, and we're going to go around the outside because I need to get around him, but that exit that he got was crazy, and now we're really going to have to put him under threat here. We're in the DRS of Lance Stroll now, and we're putting him under major threat, but it's still very tight side by side. Stroll's straight line speed is somewhat better than us. He breaks late, but we go around the outside of Stroll. He's got the inside line, and we're going to have the inside line through this corner, but we get around him. But Stroll is still going to probably be a threat for us, but he's not that close enough. So he was a threat, but he wasn't that close enough. So sit back and relax on that one, I guess you could say. And now Norris, P6 time for Lando. And we almost lost the car just a little bit through that part of the track, and it is time to overtake Lando here. And we've already pulled a second off Lance Stroll, so if we keep on doing this, we gotta really charge up to the front here. And we do not get around Norris. I honestly probably could have sent it, but I ultimately did not. So we'll get Norris down this main straight, and this DRS is gonna help us because Stroll's not in the DRS, and we're gonna be able to pull a gap, and we're gonna get around Lando here. And the DRS is helping us pull away just a little bit, but Stroll is just kind of able to sneak through there. And now this pack of cars is what we need to do, and Verstappen is in the back of this train, so this is a very tight train, and we need to get around these guys. So we are going to have and that's another track limits warning, because we cannot keep the car on the track to save our life. So we need a miracle. We need this last lap to be a superior of God, and we fast forward just a little bit to where all the action comes down. Lap 28 now. We go down the inside on both Russell, and we lose the back end, and that did not help us whatsoever, but we got ahead of Norris. We're still ahead of Norris, but very late on the brakes, and now we're really putting them two under threat. And holy crap, that race almost just ended in front of us. But we tried to brake late in the rear locking, which has really been something I haven't enjoyed in this year's game. The rear locking is not great, but the rear locking was horrible. And now this this basically this pack. I mean, we got to get these 4 around. That's all we got to do. I mean, again, but if we pull 3 seconds off Stroll, that's all that matters. But with Gasly out and Alonso able to sneak in a point, I think that he maybe could pull this off. So, you never know. We need to do something in this last lap of the Grand Prix. We need to do something. And I want to get around Verstappen. I want to get around Russell in this last 2 laps. But Verstappen is charging, but he's going to defend the inside line. And we're going to go around the outside of both these guys. We get around Russell as well. 2-1. And we finally get around him. He left the space on the outside. And we got 2 drivers in 1 corner, which we've been doing a lot of 2-1s. We're able to pull that through, and now Hamilton and Perez, they are next. They are next, and we need to still pull that gap, but still with that fight, Stroll is just able to sneak in the 3 seconds still, so we got to get around Perez, and we got to get around Hamilton, because again, if these guys fight, we're able to kind of extend that gap just a little bit. now approaching the penultimate lap, and now the last lap of the Grand Prix is borderline near us. That is up for P2. If we didn't get this 3-second time penalty, this would have been an amazing result because we are absolutely flying now in this Grand Prix. We are flying in this race, and this last stint we've really came alive, and if Alonso did not try to take us out, who knows what would have been. Last lap now, last lap time. It is time to have a, you ever seen, I forgot what movie that was, but, The Sandlots. We need a miracle. we need a miracle. And Alonso and Hamilton. Oh, but we're pushing way too much, and we're losing the car a little bit through these parts of the track, and we're not that close enough. But we're gonna burn all the battery on Hamilton and Perez. I guess you could say we're still losing the back end just a little bit. We're cooking these tires a little too much, and we're not really putting some threat on Hamilton and also Perez. But they're side by side now. We're gonna probably save and wait back and try to do it last corner, but they're side by side. This is losing his time. No. And hit the back of Perez, and now we really need to cook on this last part of the racetrack. And now Perez is now under threat from Hamilton, and now we're gonna put threat under Hamilton. We're burning all the battery, I guess you could say, as much as we can. And we're gonna try to get around Lewis Hamilton, and we hit the back of Hamilton on accident, and we go very wide, and that did not help us. And I don't know what we were doing there, but we hit the back of Hamilton, and oh my god, and still with that, Stroll's able to pull into 3 seconds. No, man, this is horrible. This is not what I wanted, and we go very wide. That's 6 seconds. Oh no, the heartbreak continues this season. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. Oh, I'm so heartbroken. I don't even know what to say.
We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins. Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Why me? Why me? Man, that's unfortunate. Leclerc wins ahead of Hamilton, ahead of Sergio Perez. So there's that. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. We tried, and unfortunately, just weren't able to do it. And it just seems to be the thing that we've had all season. We just try to cook, and we don't. So that's heartbreaking. And well, I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. Yeah, Stroll able to get through a point, and Alonso snuck in a point in the last lap. So no matter what, if we didn't get that time penalty, who knows what we probably would have been. We probably would have maybe done the miracle, but that did not help. That did not help whatsoever. So, well, fair fight to Fernando, fair fight to Stroll. They did an amazing job. They did it. They got P5, and fortunately, we got P6. Unfortunate, but again, just hey, it happens. It's racing. Sometimes you don't always win out, and I think Gasly DNFing, that did not help us whatsoever. If Gasly didn't DNF that, who would have known what would happen? But there's your finals. P9 in the championship, really good result, and ahead of Hamilton. So if that doesn't put us into the Mercedes contract discussions, I don't know what does. But that and P6. So yeah, and that's it for career mode. That's it for season 1. And speaking of season 2, I don't know yet. I honestly don't know if I'm going to do a season 2. I'm really contemplating it. There's other things I really want to focus on, and there's other type of things I really want to do. So again, career mode, I don't know. There's some things I really want to do, and that's something I will probably kind of surprised it, but who knows? Maybe it probably won't get as many views as what career mode has done. But hey, we got to try something different. So yeah, I got some ideas planned up for career mode. I'm still going to be covering some league racing content, but I have a couple more video ideas that I want to do of F1 24, and I still got other things I want to do, other games and other stuff like that, specifically racing games. So it's not just other games, it's specifically racing games, so don't worry. But that's all I got in today's video, y'all. Thank you everybody that's been supporting career mode. Thank you everybody that's been supporting this channel. I love you all for all of you done, and have a good rest of your week, have a good rest of your day, have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see y'all in the next one.